Woohoo, Don, we're live.
Great
Don
to be
Cohen,
live.
everybody.
Well, Mike, it's great to be with you. I know we've talked about this, and this is the day. We're
Don, you're breaking up there slightly.
sorry
So,
about that.
yes. So I will repeat. This is the day, Don. This is Don Cohen. It's Mike Weiss. This is LinkTank. And Don, are you back, ready to rock and roll with your audio?
Oh, I hope so. Is
Yes.
it coming through?
Now it's coming through perfect.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know we've been talking about this for a while, and it's finally come to fruition. Being able to share our concept of LinkTank with our network on LinkedIn and others who want to do better on LinkedIn. So yeah, this is a real pleasure to be here together with you, Mike.
Yes, it's a pleasure. So let's tell everyone about why we put so much effort into creating LinkTank. And you'll share your perspective. I'll share ours.
Okay.
The bottom line is that this has been designed for you. You, the business person, the thought leader, the executive, the salesperson, the person in the service based business, person selling software solutions. This program has been designed for you. So, Don, share why we created this, and then I'll share my perspective.
Sounds great. Yeah, me and Mike have been collaborating for the last 6, 7 months. We've known each other earlier than that, and as we've been able to talk and share insights and experiences, and Mike is just a master at LinkedIn. And I didn't think I'd meet somebody who embedded themselves as much in LinkedIn and learned as much so fast. And not to give Mike a plug, but that was the basis for getting to know each other and then working together. We just saw a huge opportunity in LinkTank for the, let's say, average person to highest level person on LinkedIn who could really accelerate their learning curve and get real experience. Me and Mike have talked about this. Is so many people take so long to learn so little and do so little, and you know what happens? They're just there, and by being able to understand best practices, strategy, planning, things that you would do in your everyday business, me and Mike have put it together and are in a position now to be happy to share it. Mike?
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Don. Yeah, what you said, doing so much to do so little. That is what a great saying. We've spent almost a better part of close to a year now together,
Mm-hmm.
working on one of our programs, which is the LinkedIn Done for You. Don's also got a LinkedIn coaching program, and we work closely with our clients. And what shocks me, it really shocks me, is that people don't understand the magnitude of what's possible with LinkedIn. I think
Mm-hmm.
because it's classified as social media, it's getting lumped in with nothing against Instagram and Facebook and these other social media platforms, but for the vast majority of our clients, like their clients aren't on those platforms. And social media is, yeah, stand in front of a rented Ferrari and say how great you are, or share your kids' stuff. And so people feel guilty spending time on social
Mm-hmm.
media. If you're trying to do business and you're spending time on social media, then you should feel guilty. It's a distraction. Go for a run or go to the gym. However, if you're trying to grow your leadership position globally, be staked as a thought leader, create numerous inbound inquiries that get people to know, like, and trust you, and then add in all the strategic stuff that we're going to share with in LinkTank and all the live events that we do, and then grow your business. There's only one place to do that right now, and that place is on LinkedIn. And I went back and forth with one of my clients, and I asked him because he's doing great in terms of visibility, and I don't think that the results are showing up. So I asked him, are you doing any layering any outbound outreach connection? And he basically says it doesn't really align with his brand. And I said to him, okay, well, if you just want massive visibility and to be a thought leader and get asked to speak on stage, cool. But if you want to grow your business, at some point, you've got to get into an enrollment conversation. You got to take people that know, like, and trust you, understand what you do, and you got to move them across the spectrum from, okay, you're providing amazing content, some of the best in the world. How do you take them and move them into what's next, and then the solution? And Don, this is where you and we've spent so many years growing companies and selling that this is where we spend so much time helping others. Why don't you address that, moving people from a conversation, communication, to the ultimate, which is let's help each other grow our business and let's get more sales.
Spot on. And I just want to dovetail off of what you said is me and Mike are not just LinkedIn guides or masters, whatever. We're not into patting ourselves on the back, but we are business people first. So we came in here with a business strategy and experience and how we apply it to LinkedIn. And if you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And LinkedIn doesn't give you a guidebook when you walk in. So you got to figure it out or buy some vowels to solve the puzzle, come in with some people who are already there, are already opening the road and want to bring you along with them because it's more fun and it's a longer journey. To your point, too many people are not doing outbound. They're focused on what's coming to them, right? Most people go to LinkedIn, they look at messages, notifications, comments, all this stuff. And after they're all done, they've done everything everybody asked them to do. And they haven't done anything outbound or direct themselves. And that's really key, is getting out there. And the reason why it's so key, and to put everything in context, from everything I've heard, only a half of 1% of the people on LinkedIn do anything in a week. That leaves 99.5 on the sidelines. All you have to be is good enough not to be bad, and you'll distinguish and differentiate yourself by being one of very few on the stage. So, I think a lot of people forget what made them successful in business, and they leave it at the door and they try to be a new persona here. So it's planning, it's relationship building, and most important, and a big distinction, is serving to build what Mike says is knowing, liking, and trusting people and having them do the same for you. Because to Mike's question, I look at connections turning into conversations, turning into opportunities, collaborations. And if one looked at that as the 3-step process, is you're building connections with relevant, aligned people who you can bring more value to and justify their time and interest in investing in you. It all works. And it's a reciprocal type of situation where you do something, someone does something, and it starts it over again. And if you're in a position of giving, trusting, and having patience, you're a great candidate for huge success on LinkedIn if you knew exactly what you need to do and in what order. Mike, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who got me into this 3.5 years ago is Gary Vaynerchuk, and I think he's incredible. His saying, "It's not what you get, it's what you give." And as long as you're giving quality, you're adding value. And the reality, look, if you just look at LinkedIn, you break it down. If you add value to somebody else, they want you to be in their network. Let's look at all aspects of life. If you're dating and you meet a guy or you meet a girl and you think they can add value to your life, you date them. If you don't, you do not date them. If you're in the gym working out and you meet someone and you're like, wow, that's a good workout partner, you choose them because that person and you are going to work well together and help build each other. So that's how life works. The mere fact that you want to look at LinkedIn differently and feel self-confident, self-conscious about what you have to share means that you need to basically take small steps to own your power. You need to take small steps to learn the strategies and tactics that are going to make you feel connected and, more importantly, make like you're adding value. Because when you add value, Don, how many connections do you have on LinkedIn?
Almost 37,000.
Right. Did everyone say, oh, Don's this great looking older gentleman in Denver, and let me just jump and hang out with Don?
No, no, because what your experience is what other people's experience of you is. How many times does it take for you to understand or appreciate or be aware of your connections? The ones that you are the ones that are visible, the ones that are consistently there. And actions do portray attribute, right? So consistency, dependability, relevance, thoughtfulness towards other people's time. If you're that kind of person that's giving, supporting, and I think that's part of the equation to success is people judge themselves with very little context. They're too hard on themselves at times, too easy at times, and that's why having kind of workout buddies, right, who can work with you and say, hey, this is what. And I think a key criteria, no matter what you do to advance your LinkedIn career, and you should, because the opportunity is tremendous, whether it's with Mike and me or not, is that you have to go with people who are actually doing what they say you should do and are able to show you results of what they're doing. So then it breaks it down into not people dependent, but system dependent. So if you do what me and Mike do every day, in time, you'll get what me and Mike get every day. And the ultimate goal is to have a calendar that populates itself for you, that you wake
Absolutely.
up and it's just there, and it's the people you want to be there with you.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
And
Mike.
just getting back to like the basics, like you said, dependable, reliable, add value, show up, consistent. Like we want that in our spouses.
Mm-hmm.
So, like how you show up to do anything is how you show up to do everything. So, why not say, okay, this is a great marketing channel? And then just show up how you show up in life. You'll be rewarded. That both of us can promise you. We're neither of us are rocket scientists. We're not breaking LinkedIn's algorithm. In fact, anyone that tells you that they're going to break LinkedIn's algorithm, you should run because it's owned by Microsoft, which is the top 5 company in the world. No one's breaking the algorithm. That's all bullshit. The
Mm-hmm.
reality is just do the right thing, add value, and then people want to be with you. So let's just take an example. Say I'm a corporate executive, C-suite, and someone is a great um, has a great company. They teach leadership, but they're like, oh, I don't want to, reach out on LinkedIn because I seem salesy. And I'm not talking about LinkedIn automation, outbound automation. That's actually against the terms of service of LinkedIn. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about doing things manual and the right way. So we have a great company and a leader that has tremendous systems to help with leadership. That's over here, right, Don? And over
Mm-hmm.
here, we have a company that their C-suite, they're very average at leadership. So the mere fact that this person won't actually put themselves out there is it's actually sad because these people want you, but you don't want to sound salesy, so you won't teach, or you won't reach out, or you won't share value, or you won't give them a PDF. You don't want to sound salesy, but this is the very nature of what they want. And in fact, if you look at all the new studies that are out, LinkedIn has a great study out right now. And if you connect with us, either of us on and send us a message, I'll send you the study. But more than 50% of the buyer's decisions at the C-suite level are being made by them doing their own diligence, following thought leadership prior to ever speaking with a company. This is what we talk about, Don. What I just shared is shocking. The reality is we've never been in this situation before where the actual buyer has changed how they buy. For since the cavemen, buyers have been interrupted by people trying to sell stuff, right? I want to sell you 2 stones, or I want to sell you some cowhides. I'm going to interrupt you. or advertising or TV or any type of telephone calls, email marketing, everything that we get that people try to sell us. That's the way it was. I started in the stock market in 87, and basically you no one even knew who you were until you actually called them up on the phone, and then you had to start from the beginning and tell them who you were to get even started with the situation. Now 50% is being done by them, and you're not even in the game. And if you actually try to call and cold call them or do strategic outbound, and you're not in that window, you haven't been seen, you're not a thought leader, good luck. Now, the flip side of that is if we know that they're doing the due diligence on LinkedIn, they're looking for thought leadership, then it's our duty to get ourselves in the way. And as Don said earlier, LinkedIn is giving out 3 billion impressions a week. And basically 95% of the people aren't getting any of them. 5% of the people are getting, the 3 million people are getting almost all 3 billion impressions. 3 million people around the entire world are capturing all the visibility. And out of that, Don and I and our clients, we're in the top half of 1% of that group because we're putting ourselves in the way strategically. Maybe you want to share with this, Don. It's right now, it's 2:17, and we said we're going to keep these to 20 minutes. So maybe, Don, you can wrap up this thought. We'll give everyone one concept that they can practice. That's what we want to do. One concept to practice, and then we'll just share a little bit about each of our backgrounds. So maybe there's a lot of people like, well, this has been cool, but who are these guys?
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. Thanks so much, Mike. And just to follow up on what you said, that one great takeaway, and I guess we should have said at the beginning of the program, if you wait around to the end of the program, you'll get a great takeaway, is just to the point of half of the people are already doing due diligence before they contact someone. It makes so much sense to have your profile being in the best form possible, right? Which is a great picture. And more importantly, and most people miss this, and that's why it's starting out as our first takeaway, is you need to be client value facing. And what that means is no one cares about you, they care about them, right? And you need to come out fast with, here's what I can do for you, right? You only have a few seconds, so you don't even have time for a story. You just got time for a quick, here's what I can do for you, and hopefully that allows them to follow up. And in the beginning, it is superficial until it's not. So how you show up, how you present yourself, how you provide value, because you have to earn people's trust over time, and that's through experience. So what is it going to take to be more attractive, be the better person, put out a little bit more than you expect to get back, and that alone will distinguish you. And as far as experiences, my background was founding, running bootstrap companies that turned out to be huge, $1 million companies, generating over $400 million in the companies I owned and founded. And LinkedIn was just an opportunity to stay relevant, provide more value. But once I dove into it, I saw what a huge opportunity, because me and Mike do talk quite a bit, and we remember the old days in a way. And until you see what it used to take, and now what you can do at fingertips, that is so powerful, that's also what's impressive. And I know Mike has an unbelievable background. Why don't you share a little bit?
Yeah, Don's being he was very, very fast. You'll have to share maybe the next episode at the end, the companies that you built and some of the stories, because they're awesome. I mean, you were in the very beginning with Amazon and reselling. I mean, you were in the very beginning, and you did crush it. So my background, it's kind of ironic. I never thought I would be at this point in my career heavily involved in sales and marketing advice and coaching. My background it's always been sales. I sold everything from the time I was 13 until I got my 1987 my stockbroker license. I made more cold calls than any human would ever want. 350 calls a day for almost a decade. I built sales teams. I trained over 1,000 people to be brokers, and I gravitated away from that because it was all manual. We did direct mail. We had folding machines in our office, and every month we would send out a letter that had my color picture on it. And my mentor, Bill Good, you can look him up. He's still alive. He was the number one mentor to stockbrokers during the 80s and 90s. He wrote a book called Successful Telephone Sales in the 80s, Successful Telephone Sales in the 90s. But he had a whole system of how to do drip marketing. And if you bought into that system and you had the patience, literally the trajectory of your company was guaranteed to go up because you just found people that were qualified. You continue to stay in front of them. And that front of mind space you owned. And at some point, sometime, somewhere, something is going to go wrong with somebody in their financial markets. And then the only thing they're going to do is like, you've been sending me mail for 3 years and I'm finally ready. But the acceleration of that happens faster and faster the longer you're committed to it. And that's the exact thing, an opportunity that's here on LinkedIn. People just don't understand. It's like, oh, I tried it, it doesn't work. I mean, tried it, it doesn't work. Don and I have got like, I don't know, 6 million views between us over the last 12 months. It's not a try it and I didn't work. The system works. Absolutely. It's going back to, direct mail days, just on a different platform with the same technologies. I mean, same methodology and strategies and tactics. It's what humans want. So it's a question of just stepping in. So that's my background. It's come full circle. I pivoted in the early 2000s to digital marketing, and I was one of the top people in digital marketing in 2012 for Infusionsoft, top 4 or 400 companies in the world. And I built some companies, and I got into online education. And then finally, because I was so desperate to really accelerate the growth of my education company, I found LinkedIn after I met Gary Vaynerchuk. And I just, in the last 3 years, have dedicated my life to this. And then post-COVID, basically one of my mentors was like, you're killing it on LinkedIn, do it for others. That was almost 18 months ago. And we're going to do over 500 million views for our clients this year. 500 million views. That's like, talk about having a broadcast channel. You just got to make sure you're putting out good information, you're consistent, and you care, and you add value, and it's guaranteed your business is going to grow.
Exciting. I mean, I'm getting excited, and I was already excited. So, and we hit the trends, and we got the best of both worlds, a little old school, a little new cool as far as LinkedIn. And we love having fun too. We love mixing it up. And I found that, working with Mike is incredible because I get to learn what he's learning and he gets to learn what I'm learning. It's like someone going to the gym and you getting the muscles, right? So I think that, and it's more fun with more people. So we're looking to continue to build this. We think that this is more than timely. It's essential, especially if people are making the transition from the physical world to the digital world, want to really project a professional image, and really want to hit it hard, want to make something happen, catch a wave. And I think together we can do so much better than individually. And I think that's the key to LinkedIn too, is collaboration is always rewarded. Meeting on purpose is always better than meeting by accident. And I think that's one of the purposes of LinkTank is to say every Tuesday, every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be here and we're going to continue to share more and more knowledge. And this will motivate us to be more knowledgeable so we could share it next week. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. I see there's a few people that have shown up. And one thing, we're open to anybody who has questions. Feel free, if you want to get to know us a little better, check out our profiles on LinkedIn. If we're not connected with you, feel free to connect with us. And if you want to learn more about how we can do more, continue to watch the show and reach out to us. We're waiting for you. Mike?
Yeah, that's perfect wrap up. The only thing I would add is that we're also excited during the in between times of the shows to have you send in questions. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the messages, message Don and I and say, hey, I've got this question. We're going to be, and we're going to give you, a little thumbs up during our LinkedIn Live and say, hey, we got this person that asked this question. So you'll get a little love from us as well. But we want to know your most pressing questions. And then we're going to, use that to this platform to answer those questions. So everyone receives maximum value. That's really the key. So I encourage everyone to show up on Friday. It's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and have a wonderful week. Don?
Oh, can't. This has been great. Can't wait for Friday. Hope everybody else joins us, and feel free to refer other people, to send them the link. Bigger the better.
Have an amazing week. Thank you.